Hi everyone, I'm Candace the Shaman.
And I am Spirit Medium Jenn.
Here is a mini clip of our episode. If you would like to watch more, you can click on the link below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos from our podcast.
So it's just resonance, going to a certain frequency that creates balance in your energetic body and field. And the auric field outside of you, your aura is huge. And a lot of people don't realize how big their auric field is.
Yeah.
And this means your energetic influence.
Well, you also talk about as a little kid, don't touch my energy bubble or get out of my energy bubble.
Yes.
Don't be in my bubble.
Don't be in my space.
Yeah.
Get out of my space. Well, what is this space?
It's your,
right?
It's your aura.
Yeah. Like even unconsciously, we have been very aware of our space, right?
Yeah, we just haven't put it in energetic or spiritual terms.
Right. And around your body, people who are really opening up clairvoyantly, if you have someone sit or stand up against like a neutral wall. Color wall, like this kind of color would be great for aura practice and clairvoyance practice. But right immediately around the body, you'll see this little white glow line that's just immediately outside of the body. And this is called the etheric double. That's actually the spirit body you journey in. And you can cultivate all its faculties. And when we're doing journey work, we're saying, what do you see, feel, this and that? You're actually strengthening your etheric double.
It's interesting because you just think that your spirit is inside of your body, but it's actually inside and outside your body.
Yes, it is.
Very fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I just never put those two together. That's really cool.
And then outside of the layer that's right outside that etheric double is where people start to see color. And that is the emotional body. The emotional body is connected to your personality, your likes and dislikes, your gifts, your emotions, like what you're feeling at the time. And you're going to see a dominant color, because even though you can feel other things and you'll see an influence of those colors coming in, but there'll be a dominant color. And that dominant color gives insight into someone who's looking at and say, I know that you must like da 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 da.
So you see color.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that. So that's really cool.
I think, and this is the thing though, is you can see it in your mind. And a lot of times we talked about this with clairvoyance, that it's not just seeing with your physical eyes, because I've been talking about more physical because it can show up on your screen. But technically we don't have, they're called rods and cones at the back part of your eye anatomy. They're these rods and cones is what they call them, but they're only able to capture certain frequencies of light. And the band of light and things that can show up in that band is pretty narrow.
Right.
There's so many other colors, so many other frequencies outside of this particular band, but our physical vehicles are unable to even pick up those frequencies. So even if you are seeing it, you think through your eyes, you're really seeing it
through
your third eye, and it's creating an imprint on your matrix screen, but it's not truly being seen by your eyeballs and never will be. It's not.
I was like, whoa.
There would have to be a major DNA shift that would create different kinds of rods and cones in our anatomy to pick up different rays of light. But that is not something that the physical eye is capable of.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people that are like, well, I don't see anything. And then they think they're not psychic. And it's like, actually, if you're getting any kind of image, like if you're getting a flash, a picture, a symbol, that's all clairvoyance.
Well, even just this weekend, I had a woman come over for a session, and she had felt very disconnected from her son who had passed. But she had mentioned something about her grandkids being out on a swing with him or filling him around and like communicating and laughing with him. And she was like, was that really him? But as we were speaking, I said, well, did you see that in your mind? And she said, every time I think about it, I can see exactly what it would look like. And I said, well, that's your connection to spirit. That is your confirmation. Is a lot of times your third eye seeing things psychically is imagination. So that would make sense that you see color in that same space that you imagine as a child. There's
Yes.
no difference. Even when I have sessions, I never see someone physically in my room, but it's like you see it in your mind, you see it as like literally like an imagination, but it's truth. So that would make
Well,
sense with
and they're
me.
in science is even saying that this happens so quickly. It's faster than what we can measure as far as time, but that we feel things before we see them. And so something will manifest in front of us as an image or it appears solid, but in truth, we felt the energetic imprint first, and then it showed up in our reality.
That makes sense.
So even that, and it's happened so fast that we don't recognize it, but it's true. It's just the way the brain works, the way our vision works, the way everything works. I took this amazing class at during college called Sense and Perception. And it addressed that sometimes you don't even see things because you don't think that it's possible. And so it won't show up in your reality. But in truth, it was there all along. It's just that you weren't open to it. Yeah. And the third layer beyond the mental body is the causal body.
The causal.
They call it the causal. And this is really that connection into the spiritual aspects, the spiritual layers of your auric field. It kind of holds the blueprints of your soul mission and the things that you're here to accomplish and to share. And so a lot of times akashic information will be held within the causal body, energetic body. So what's really neat about doing energy sessions is that our bodies, because our energy bodies are, like I was telling you, they're mutable or they move. They can be, it's almost like pottery. You can shape them into different shapes or images or whatever. But one of the techniques they had about in Reiki is they'll, not only will you feel, and you know you've got this energetic body, but you'll visualize that your fingers are stretching way out. And then you feel around with intention the energetic body or the layers, and you can feel into energetically
I'm gonna have to
the
try
layers of the energy field. And so I will do this when I'm working on someone. I'll do like the basic hand positions and basic positions at first to get me going, even though sometimes spirit won't allow me to go all the way through because they'll tell me to do things and move things and shift it. And then at the second half of that session, I usually focus on what is it that needs to be removed, or what areas do I need to focus on more? Where do I need to work on these partnership, these energetic, the chakras and their partnership and the way they work with each other. And then I will use that stretching technique of stretching my energetic fingers and then reaching and feeling around the auric field is to feel if there are any tears or holes in the energetic body, which can happen, which makes you energetically susceptible to tag along energies.
Yes.
And that can be very draining because it's like an energetic parasite in a sense. And so really healing those layers and creating a healthy membrane of energy. Once you start doing that and you have this energy current moving through the system, it just keeps expanding your auric field.
Interesting.
And the bigger your auric field is, the healthier it is, the more vitality you experience, and the more magnetic you are for drawing in abundance and prosperity in your life.
Yeah, because I remember even you talking about in our sessions about sexual energy and creative energy, and how that has direct correlation to a lot of autoimmune diseases.
Yes.
Where your energy or your aura is so depleted that it's so small that your body starts to pick up on it. And so that makes sense, is the bigger that it is, the healthier that it is, the more vitality, the more abundance, the more you can incorporate everything in that space too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've noticed that in particular fibromyalgia. It's so painful. You know, it's so painful to live like that. But when I felt it energetically, what's been happening is that etheric double is flat as a pancake. There's like no buffer for the nervous system. And that etheric double creates a buffer for the nervous system so it doesn't feel overstimulated. and it's painful when it's overstimulated. I mean, anyone who's experienced nerve damage or anything like that, it takes forever to heal if it ever does.
Right.
I had nerve damage in my when I had what do you call an implant for one of my not wisdom teeth, it was one of the bigger teeth in the back. When they did that, when they put the screw in, they tapped into a nerve, and then all of a sudden it created nerve damage, and it numbed this whole part of my face, from my jaw to my whole lip to this part. Like to this day, I can't feel that.
Wow.
It's numb all the way over to here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was really weird to live with that at first. But as that nerve damage was happening, it felt like snaps, like rubber band snaps on my face. It was so painful. Fibromyalgia, they feel it all the time.
Wow.
And so when I work with someone energetically, what I'm doing is I'm creating an energetic buffer. I'm refilling energy into that etheric double. And usually it's caused from tears in the energetic system. And so it's really working on that energetic system, working on the chakras, bringing in more light and buffering energy in the auric field. And every single person I've ever worked on has walked up pain-free.
That's so
and
amazing.
What's interesting though, is that down the road, it starts to come back, and when that happens, then there's some kind of soul agreement here. There's some kind of contract with it. And that is when I usually invite people to go on a deeper level and say, well, keep working on it energetically to relieve pain, of course. But I would also do some journeying to explore the soul contracts, maybe do some Akashic journeying and understand what is this agreement that this person has with this particular illness. So maybe they can go to the root cause, and sometimes just bringing awareness will shift it.
Absolutely.
So, or maybe there's a direct purpose for it, that's going to help them find purpose and direction in a certain area to help other people who are like, there's agreements that we have with certain things that lead us down certain roads.
Yeah.
And that's a possibility. But anytime that I've explored that with people, not only does it relieve suffering, but it also gives people direction. Like all of a sudden it's like they know the direction, the energy, or the purpose of which they have this particular thing, and they're able to really dive into that purpose and feel empowered by it, as opposed to feeling disempowered. Thank you for watching Modern Sages. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We are so grateful for your support. We have an Instagram account as well as on Facebook. We have our podcast, which is the Modern Sages podcast.
And we are so excited to launch our Gifts of Spirit classes in our Modern Sages Mystery School.
Absolutely. Oh, we're so excited. So we're going to link the information below in the show notes for more information about our mystery school.